Hi, welcome everybody. So glad that you're here this evening. This is a city council workshop meeting that we're having, so it's a little bit different. It's less formal than a regular city council meeting. So we welcome audience participation. If you have something you want to say, just get my attention to let me know. And whenever it's appropriate, I'll have you come up. You'll need to come up though, because we're recording this and there will be people on YouTube watching it later. And then just state your name and your ward and whatever organization you might be here representing. Okay, so just raise your hand. I'll write your name down and I'll definitely get to you. So with that, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5:30. Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. Gio, we have a quorum this evening with 4 or 5 council members present, and Councilmember Rich Portillo is on his way. He had to work down near Candelaria today. So he'll be here as soon as he can. Proof of notice of meeting, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Notice of this meeting was posted by 2 p.m. on Wednesday.
Great. All right, so if you have a public comment, once again, you'll come up, state your name, your ward, and then whatever organization you might be here representing. You have 3 minutes for public comments. And remember, council cannot respond to you during this section. All we can do is listen. City Secretary, do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Okay.
You would like to say something?
Okay, go ahead. Come on up. So 3 minutes and we can't respond during this section.
Hi, thank you for having me. Kay Chaika, Ward 1, and I'm here for the Alpine Public Library on behalf of them. We appreciate all your support that you've given us in the past, and we hope we can count on it. Just a couple of things that we are a valuable resource to the entire community with all of our classes, Spanish, GED. We had 3 graduate a couple weeks ago, which is awesome. We have adult education. We made a huge investment to the library with the children's section, and y'all have not seen it. You need to come because it's amazing. The Teen Zone rereads is just rocking and rolling, but we are in need of money. We're a nonprofit, as you know, and just a little note that we really hadn't had an increase in any of our support from y'all till maybe 2008. In 2023 and 24, you bumped it up 5,000, which we really appreciate. But then in 24 and 25, you took it away. So we hope that you can give us as much support as you can, because we are for the community and everything we do is to better Alpine, and the library is just everything. I'm on the board and I volunteer, and we get a lot of visitors and it's just a great place. So thank you very much for your support.
Great, thank you. Okay, is there anyone else who wants to speak during this section? Okay, come on up.
Yeah. I'm Kathy Johnson, Ward 1. I'm on the library board. I volunteer at Rereads, the used bookstore there, and we do see a lot of visitors, not only from this area, but from other states. And some people come every year from like either Kansas or New York, or anyway, they always comment about how much they love the library. And so we really feel it is a vital resource for the community. I work there once a week, and I've been on the board just maybe about 6 months. But I've lived in Alpine for 2 years, and I came specifically on a trip here one time because I hadn't seen the library, and I wanted to see what type of library, and I was really blown away by the library. And my husband reads electronically, but I am a book person. But even the library has a lot of things that are electronically now. But I do, I'm gonna reiterate what Kay said about we really appreciate your support. There's so many classes, even the citizenship class. There's just a lot of different things that the library provides, the children's programs. We have a new children's librarian, but there's just a whole lot of things that the library does for the community. And we do appreciate your support, and we're hoping we can get that continued for this next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody?
You are Don Wetterauer, Executive Director of Alpine Public Library, Ward One. Thank you for having us come in there today. And I will reiterate what they said. The library, I think, is a great resource for the community. And like Kay mentioned, in 23-24, we got an extra $5,000, and then 24-25, it went back. And so I'm hoping that we can at least bump it back up to the same amount since 2008, just kind of eroded away by inflation. Anyway, hope you can consider something. And thank you for your past support. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, so moving on, budget and tax rate workshop. City manager, Gio.
Thank you, Mayor. This budget workshop was to determine necessary amendments to the proposed budget ahead of official adoption. There have been just a few areas that we've noted since the proposed budget came up. One of them was the Alpine Public Library was requesting $45,000. They did get that for a while, and for some reason last year it went down to 40. Other than that, the Director of Tourism in his previous contract had a 5% annual increase that was built into the contract. And in this most recent contract, he doesn't have an annual increase and did not receive one last year. So I just wanted to advise the council of that in case you would want to entertain providing an increase this year. His contract does say that the council determines the increase, if any, annually. And then lastly, we have identified that Skyway Gardens 2 development is underway. We have a discussion item on next week's agenda just to kind of discuss, concerns moving forward, because with that development, being underway, we did have our engineers conduct a feasibility study, and they recommended some amendments to basically fix some of the water pressure issues that we're going to have when that development comes online. So these are just things that I wanted to kind of bring up and get, kind of get in front of you all just to start the discussion. But please, if y'all have any questions on the proposed budget, let us know. Victoria is here, thankfully. She's done a lot of work, and I'm happy that she's able to join us.
Thank you, Victoria. We're glad to see you. Okay, Councilmember Martinez.
Are we talking already sobre the whole budget or?
Yes.
Okay, can I pass this time? You've got
Sure
it.
can. Okay, no worries. We'll come back to you last. Councilmember Ruckus.
This being the first one. Let's just stand by and see how it goes.
Okay. Let's see who's next. Councilmember Portillo's not here right now. Councilmember Escobedo.
I'll talk a little bit on one of the things on the library. I think that is one of the greatest assets that we have. And I mean, if we do have the monies available, I would like to see it back to what it was. I had many people, express how much they like it and everything that's been done there. In fact, they've asked how come they don't have more hours or extend their hours. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll ask. But so that right there tells you that the people want and are going there. That's one of the things. And I'll let Rick speak a little bit more on some other stuff.
I wanted to ask, are you guys open on Saturdays?
Working.
Right, right. Are you depending on volunteers to do that? If so?
No.
No. All right, and I know that the GEO, the Family Crisis Center, they often reach out to me requesting that we provide them with some support. I didn't see them in here. They're not in here, right?
Yeah,
So they're all budgeted just for the same amounts that we usually do.
yeah,
The
And
Family Crisis Center?
it's $9,000.
Okay, I missed it. All right. So that just recently got added in. I think when I first came on council, it wasn't there. All right, so for the same amounts, so everything's listed for the same amounts as last year.
they have been.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Of course, we didn't recognize that there was a change last year, outlined from the library funding, otherwise we might have, you know.
I didn't
put it at-
recognize that either.
So,
Yeah, that's a surprise to me. Okay, all right, Councilmember Stevens?
Yeah, thank you. So, one, I want to thank you for all the work that you've done for this together, Jill, as well. This is a non-trivial task and a lot of work. I had asked that the big provide to us, and she did this evening, Jill handed out fund balances. And when I add it all up together, basically we have $7.8 million of fund balance that says it's unallocated. To me, the reason that's important is I've got some questions about where we are on top line budgets. The proposal that we have in front of us takes $1.4 million out of the fund balance and transfers it into potential expenditures in order to balance the budget. Because right now, the proposed budget appropriation is just shy of $17 million. But we only have roughly $15.6 million of funding to support it. That's where the numbers roll in. So I think the question we have to address is how do we want to allocate fund balance? The good news for the city of Alpine, we got money. So I mean, that's great news. I think that's a credit to what's gone on in the past. Our debt continues to decline significantly. Our challenge is where do we want to allocate dollars? So that's kind of the top level discussion. Now I'd like to dive into some specifics. I too support the library going back to $45,000. That's where it was before. I know in the budget it shows 40,000. And I think one of the things we as council want to talk about is where we're making investments in the community, like the library, and or Family Crisis Center, or the Advocacy Center, what's the right numbers we're gonna talk about? We certainly have the flexibility to go do it. We also have to, in my mind, remember, we're allocating taxpayer dollars, whether it comes from our enterprise funds, which are fund generating, or it's tax dollars. So that's part of the responsibility that we have. So I think in the past, we've talked about setting aside a certain amount for the not-for-profits and allocating it, but from the library, I think $45,000. It is called a public library, and most communities pay for the library. We're blessed to have one that's supported by volunteers in terms of donations. And I give to the library. It's an important thing that Elaine and I do because we believe in giving back to the community. So that's my spiel on library and the not-for-profits. What's one of the questions I have is, what was the basis? When I think about the four things we as council talked about from a strategic plan, they were roads, water, sewer, and employee pay. And so the first question I'd have is, what are we assuming in terms of employee pay from a merit perspective? And what's the minimum starting salary we're gonna have employees in Alpine in this budget?
So we already have a $15 per hour starting salary.
Okay,
with
good.
the compensation study. There's a 3% merit increase and a 3% cost of living increase included in the budget.
Okay, so at least that's the pool there. And I know you leave that up in your figure out.
So the 3% cost of living would be upon approval. So if it's approved prior to October 1st, it would be included. And then the merit increase would be up to the director to provide to their employees.
Okay, good. So that's basically 6% available to employees. So
Yes.
thank you for that. That's good. Second I have on my list is what assumptions are we making about automatic meters for water and for gas?
So, we did do an additional 150,000 for the gas smart meters, as discussed at the council meeting. So there's a total of 300,000 right now for that.
So that's in Randy's budget.
Yes.
So 300,000 for automatic meters.
Gas.
For the gas.
For
Yes.
gas. Okay,
For Davis.
As
Well,
far-
does that only do Fort Davis? Andy?
Right now, we just received a quote
Okay,
to do Fort Davis turnkey. Is $185,000, and that's using the. Turnkey is using the cell towers for everything.
Okay.
Not where we get the box, we have to go drive around all that, it'll automatically come in.
okay, so help educate us. How many meters are in Fort Davis compared to how many in Alpine?
There are approximately about 340 in Fort Davis.
Okay.
And about 1880 here in Alpine.
And then what's it gonna cost me? Do you know what it's gonna cost monthly to maintain that?
It'll cost yearly to have Fort Davis, once it's done, it's 10,000 a year, it's almost $12 per meter. Per year, after it's all installed.
And do you have that already, or is that something you're gonna need?
Yes, that's
additional?
all part of on the quote.
No,
that'd
but I
be-
meant like, so we get it implemented this year, so next year you're gonna need an additional 10,000 to maintain.
Correct. And looking at the numbers, doing the math, once we have all of Alpine done, which I'm sure it'll be sectioned out, it won't happen from one year to the next. But once they're all implemented, once they're all set up, you're gonna be looking at about $35,000 a year for a fee to,
For just Alpine.
right?
So just back of the envelope, then it's basically, and I'm using round numbers. $200,000 to do 340 meters. Okay, so if I divide through from the city of Alpine, you know, and it's not gonna be, my math's gonna be off. You're basically talking 6 years to do Alpine. So as we think it's an additional 200,000 per year for the next 6 years to get all of Alpine done, assuming you do Fort Davis this next year.
Correct.
Okay, okay, and when we look at the budget that you have, Randy, now the gas fund. You've got revenue right now forecast at 2.3 million and spending 2.6 million. That's the basic. What that is as an enterprise, you're break even and wanting to invest an additional $300,000 to go do capital improvement. Is that the simple way to look at it?
Yes.
Okay, which in my mind makes good sense of use of the fund balance. I think we council at some time need to look at where we are on gas rates. But it looks like at least the gas department is at least break even. And we're making it a capital investment, and the gas department fund balance right now is $1.6 million. So given we do that, your gas department fund balance is gonna go down to like $1.4 million, which is good news. Is that-
Yeah.
My suggestion was
Yeah.
that we had just gone up to the $11.
Yep.
And my suggestion for this coming budget was to go up to another dollar.
Another dollar.
Because everything is going up.
Yep.
We've looked at, everything that we need to go out there has
Yep.
gone up about 25%.
Okay.
So things are gonna get a little more expensive. I don't know what's gonna end up happening with the tariffs. Texas Gas Association meeting that I attended last time, they said that for us to be prepared because we may get slapped in the face with stuff like that.
But the good news is, even with this plan, they'll still be in the fund about $1.3 million. So that's good.
Which is good.
Okay, so gas. Me personally, I'm comfortable with the Gaten County gas. that
I
makes
am.
sense. Yeah,
What
that
about
makes sense.
water? Let's
Well,
look at
that's-
water.
I'm.
We're going there?
working our way, yeah.
I know you have notes on it.
I'm
so
just-
Just while we're thinking about the smart meters, because that's gonna come out of the water
Okay,
department
so-
fund.
So when I go to, now I'll hit the, I'll hit the water department, then I come back to sewers, okay? So, and then it's streets. So water department is revenue 1.9 million. So same as basically our revenue this year. But expenditures going up 2.2 million. And what assumptions does that make about automatic meters?
Last we were, we did advise council, we're looking at funding options.
Yeah.
but there's nothing set aside currently in waters.
And because we don't have any kind of estimation on the cost yet, or it's something that we're currently researching, you know, looking at, funding options. for that as well.
Other than our one quote that we got for 1.4.
Yes.
So the good news is, although this doesn't break it out, Vicky, it says water, sewer and sanitation fund, 2.5 million in terms of what's available, okay? So it'd be helpful to break that out at some point.
I would really need to research our history because it is not broken out in any of the reports.
Okay, so that,
It,
yeah.
it could be something we can look into.
okay, so since there's no smart meters in there, the water department budget went up 8%. And just trying to, it went from $2 million up to 2.2 million. Which says money's coming out of reserve. What's driving that? And I know Mike's not here, so it's a little hard to. And we may not have an answer, and I don't want you, I don't know how much you say. I have no idea.
I do know that 154,000,
Okay, yeah, what if 175,000, 8%? Because in my mind, the big things that are important for us to consider. And we don't have to have an answer today. We may not have it next meeting. But I would hope that we would talk about smart meters. As number one, what's our game plan for that? And how do we think about that from a budget and an allocation of fund balance? The second is, what's the plan to go work our water distribution system, which includes water pressure over in Litchfield. And so it'd be nice to really understand that plan. When I look at the detailed cost proposal, we have water distribution maintenance, 150,000. Then we have line maintenance at 150,000. And it shows expenditures thus far on the distribution system maintenance at just shy of 90,000. And under line maintenance, it shows 0. So it's hard, in my mind, for us to make an assessment about where those dollars are. And I know you all are trying to sort through all this to get the GeoLedger and sub-accounts working. But it would really be helpful to understand that. So,
if I may,
yeah,
if you will recall the time frame that we are facing. And the fact that we were barely assigned this.
no,
You know, the reason that we're not able to provide that.
Yeah,
information
I get it.
here is that there are many projects that were not identified.
Yeah.
And so in an effort to not include any projects that may be in place.
Yeah.
That is the one time that I did go ahead and take your advice and follow what the previous city manager had in place. And so I just.
I'm with you.
Just to make sure we don't.
No, understand, you all have lots of moving parts in this, so I get all that. My thinking would be, we probably need to have a workshop on the water plan. And we ought to ask Mike to come in and kind of walk us through it. We got Leachia that we got to worry about. We got water distribution issues we got to worry about. Mike has been on board working this, what now, 3 months?
3?
Yeah.
Is it already that?
Yep,
Okay.
and he doesn't have it all worked, but he's a heck of a lot smarter than he was when he started.
Yes.
And I think we ought to have a discussion with him to say, how do you see it? So my sense would be, at this point, I would just stay flat, other than, his employee cost, you want to give him 6%. But I would leave that flat at this point from a budget standpoint until we really understand, because water distribution really important for us, getting Leachie working, the Leachie water pressure. We want to understand what's going on with Phillips Tank, the one that had the leak in it. We're supposed to send the divers out there.
Yes.
It's,
You're not going.
we ought to just do a special workshop on water.
I agree.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So, and if you leave it as it is, other than put the 6% in for salaries, which is an easy to go do. I'd be comfortable with that. Then we can have dialogue. Then we'll talk about, then I'll give you a chance to figure out how much money's there. And then we talk about, in my mind, we get a budget passed. And then I would do a budget amendment after we do the meeting, because we've got the flexibility financially.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's my put on water. I'm gonna shift gears now to sewer.
If I may.
Yes, sir.
Add on the water real quick.
Yeah.
What was our feasibility study finding?
It is
From our engineer.
the information is included in the packet I emailed you, also, but I don't recall off the top of my head. But it is included,
So we got it
both
today.
documents from the engineers on the discussion item to be discussed next week.
Good.
And that, you should review it ahead of the next budget workshop. And I can also have some stuff prepared for that
You said you sent it to us today?
in the packet. The council packet.
Oh, for September 2nd.
For
For
September
Oh, we
2nd.
haven't had a
Okay.
chance to look at that one yet. Yeah.
I just looked at the cover
Just
page.
don't have access to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll go through that. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna switch gears to sewer. Okay,
Yes.
so sewer, we brought in 800,000 last year and we spent 2 million. 1.7 was funding from, for lack of a better term, COVID money from the feds. This has it as revenue at 800,000, so our sewer rates are the same. And it's proposing 926,000, and when I look at the report, talking about what's done or what's not done, I know the drawing beds are done. So that's finished,
One clarifier, right?
It's
and
not done yet. It'll be done, next month.
Okay.
next month, but funds have been allocated for that already, correct? So that's not part of this budget. Okay, so the clarifier, drawing beds and clarifier funds, that was basically the $1.7 million. So I'm trying to understand what's the additional money for from the, because if you take 1.7 out of it, you say, hey, that one ought to be cash positive. And there's another one. I wouldn't want to set it at $2.2 million because that includes $1.7 million. So it'd be nice to understand what's our sewer plan as well. And maybe it's probably a couple sessions, water, sewer. I think the water is the biggest one, the sewer is the next one. But it'd really be helpful to understand what Rich is looking for and thus Mike Macias as well. Why the additional 126,000, which is, it's more than that, gee, if I take out 1.3, yeah, it's, his dollars are going up dramatically, so it'd be helpful to understand. Okay, and I know you don't have the answers, I was, my proposal would say, put it at 800,000. Okay, revenue equals, expenses. And we'll figure that out when we come talk to him. That at least he's got money to go work with. That's my thinking. Okay. Now let me go to the sanitation recycling. I have no big issues there. Now if I go back up to streets. Okay, so we actually show a decrease in streets. from roughly 1.4695 or $1.5 million to 1.4 million. So that's 100,000 down. As much as I get beat up by my friends and
Country Club of
like
States.
other states, for instance, out there, you know, and I know we're the city and the county, and I know we just spent $750,000 on a zipper, a new front end loader, that's capital. Why the reduction in streets?
Because it does not include what was budgeted for the loader with the prior year budget.
Okay, so translate that for me.
Okay, so, the budget we're currently operating in, 2025, included 200,000 for the loader.
Okay,
And so since we already purchased that this year,
okay.
it is not being pulled forward to next. year.
Okay, so it is actually not a decrease in funding for streets.
Oh, and funding, I'm sorry, I thought you.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the appropriation on streets. You know, appropriation for streets this year is 1.5 million, next year 1.4 million. I get we made it happen. But it's $100,000 less. And you may not have the answer, Vicky, so. But I just think about it, said our four big things, streets, road or water, wastewater, employees.
So what are you looking at?
I'm looking at this sheet right here, this page number 9 in our packet 11 as well. I'm looking at streets. I don't have none.
You don't have.
Oh,
You don't have number 11?
Okay,
I don't
I
have
don't
mine.
have that in front of me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just not.
Mine's 11.
Yeah, it's page 11 of 100 in
Yeah.
Or page 8 of this.
page 8 of that, or page 8 of the packages.
11 and
There
100
you go.
is easier to find. Because it's so big.
So the actual revenue for streets current year is 70,200.
I don't care about revenue, talk about how much we're gonna spend.
Okay, so the
Appropriations.
appropriation was at 1.495.
Yeah, 1.5.
Increased to 1.410,
And you change, and it decreased to 1.4.
and that was due to the loader, because we did not included current year. However, you're not seeing a $200,000 reduction, because we did go ahead and increase part of the caps and this road repair, also anticipating an increase in them.
Okay, so out of the 1.5, that included buying the capital equipment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the net,
Just the loader part.
just the lower part, so the net is capital goes down because you got new equipment, but the amount of money available to go to streets actually goes up.
We're looking at how much we wish to appropriate. So current year 24-25. What was adopted was 1.495,
Right.
and that included the cost of the loader,
Right.
just 200,000.
So,
Okay.
so the net, I'm a simpleton. The net amount of money we're gonna pay for employee and material to fix streets in Alpine. This year is $1.3 million. Because you spent $200,000 in the loader. So Eddie has basically $1.3 million to buy people and material to go fix streets. Next year, Eddie's gonna have $1.4 million to go buy people and street, and material to fix streets.
Yes, sir, and the decrease, if you will look at it by line item, there were several areas in there that, so we have the 275 box loader. Cap improvements, we did increase that one slightly because we've already done it.
Let's get down to how much is it gonna add for aggregate, oil and people?
Okay. So like for the street maintenance materials, we increased it to 100,000. Or as the overtime, we increased that. Salaries slightly increased, not because of, it was just a really high budget. compared to what we're actually expecting.
Okay, so I'm the simple thing. Okay,
Yeah, it's just going by line item and looking at
I
it.
got all that, but in the big picture, when we're talking to people on the outside, all of our residents, we're actually gonna have more money for people and material to fix more streets in Alpine next year. That's the bottom line.
And that is correct.
That's what I'm.
Because if you look at the repairs, all of those have increased. If you look at like electricity, I decreased that just so that I thought we're
I'm
more
with
than
you.
what had been budgeted.
Okay, okay, so that takes care of my streets. It takes care of wastewater, water.
Yes.
The airport's the airport, because now we got a bunch of helicopters flying around, burning up gas, which is great. Environmentalists struggle, whoops. Didn't say that.
Airport's good.
Police department, same ballpark. Last one I have. Gio, you split out administration and secretary, which I think was a smart move. However, administration appropriation went up 21%, which is from $600,000 this year to almost $720,000, a 21% increase. So can you help us understand?
So we took the grant writer full-time, the economic development administrator is newly budgeted because it wasn't included in the budget last year. It was, what else do we have changing there? We budgeted $160,000 for the manager because we weren't sure exactly what that salary is gonna be.
But last year, we had all that in there. We had a city manager in there last year. We had a grant writer in there,
Part-time.
a part-time benefit, and we had the economic development manager in there. So that's why what you just described is, those are all in the budget, which is great. I'm just trying to understand why it went up 21%.
Well, I don't believe, the grant writer is part-time, city manager, right, is probably pretty comfortable.
Yep.
And then the economic development administrator, I think that was done later. I don't know if that was included in last year's budget, is what I was trying to get at.
Could you please? Yeah,
Sure.
that'd be helpful.
Because that was something done late in the.
Yeah, I'm strongly supportive of economic development. And we want to have our grant writers to get all that. It'd just be helpful to understand because it does stick out. That's the biggest increase from a budget standpoint of 21%. Okay, and I want to be able to talk about it and say, here's why.
Okay.
Okay, and see if it's grant writer and economic development. Those, in my mind, are the big picture items. Because in my mind, we city council are trying to allocate resources to in our high priority areas. In my mind, we should leave it up to you about how the details get itself sorted out in all the line items. Otherwise, we go through 100 pages of line items, which in my opinion is not the best use of our time or your time. I do think that the discussion we're gonna have September 2nd in the workshop when we start at 4, it'd be really helpful to think about water lines and water distribution. And it sounds like you got that on the agenda, Reggie, but it'd be really helpful to understand an update on how do we see what's going on from sewer budget standpoint. And you know, those so we understand where our fund balance. Good news is this city's got money. How we spend it, we want to spend it wisely. Just as a point, I was at the commissioners court meeting today where they're working through their budget. They actually increased taxes because they run our deficit. They don't have enough money.
Yeah.
Went up 2 cents per $100 value, which is not a huge number. That's the challenge. But it turns out to be 6%. So they're in a far different situation than we are. Anyway, those are my comments. Hopefully it was helpful. I know I dove into a lot of detail, but top levels where I'm at. I yield.
All right, Councilmember Martinez.
I have a few simple questions that has complicated as Rick. One of the points that we've been talking about is, about the family crisis. I saw that is a really the lowest amount from all the we support. I would like to see we can increase that donation is $9,425 that we hadn't supported in the past. I don't know if we can raise a little bit the support. It's just a question.
Oh, absolutely, but I think we're at the point where we would have to be taking from the reserves for any additional amendments, if I'm not mistaken. So you would be taking out of our, for lack of a better word, savings account for any projects going forward, including, sort of what isn't included in the budget, unless we work in another creative way to take away from something that we haven't.
Okay, that was one of the questions. And then I saw that is, for the Lujan Park, is $5,000 for that park. Is still that money available?
Kristen, so that was in the part.
See. Let me see some page. Is in the page 18. The number 5, Lujan Park. The council approved $5,000. So
We've only spent about $600 on it so far, so.
there's some money available. There's a lot of things to fix it. I know that it was authorized long time ago. So who is in charge to use the money, the Parks and Recreations? To do the fixing for the park? That would be, okay, I would like to go to that. Talk to the person in charge to.
That's the sentence.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
Yeah, that was gonna be for those improvements. I don't.
uh-huh,
never
yeah.
got done.
Yeah, okay, I would like to get in contact with them, so see if it can be done. And my last questions, I know we've been talking, maybe that county can help us, but I didn't see anything on the incinerator on that budget for the animal shelter. So I don't know, we cannot depend on them, I don't know.
It's a good point. We have been talking or speaking with the judge, and we sent over the quote for what Jennifer wanted.
Mhm.
And he said that he would review after budget season, so I'm hoping, this next time that we meet with him, we'll be able to go over that.
Cause I was listening, Rick, that they are just struggling, so I don't know if they have enough money to buy the incinerator.
It was not listed from a budget standpoint. Yeah, it wasn't part of their budget.
The judge is talking about just purchasing it,
Oh,
but he was waiting for the budget to finish.
So what?
We sent over the quote. It was
I wanna
90
say-
something.
I want to say it was like 180 bucks.
Was it that
Uh-huh.
much?
It was 90 to 100.
on the rate, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but it's not currently in this budget,
No, it's not.
which goes back to the whole capital, this is my beef with the capital improvement plan. It was in the capital improvement plan along with a generator, but it never shows up in the budget. So,
And didn't we approve it?
we approved the capital improvement plan, but that doesn't mean it ever gets allocated money.
We approved, we
But
did
didn't we
approve the
also approve for
incinerator, yes, because Jennifer came and talked to us and we approved
So why
it, yeah.
isn't- So then
We
it was just.
So
We
there
did.
wasn't ever an official approval to add us to direct to the budget. The plan was to work with the county to try and get a collaborative effort, like an interlocal agreement to. And at the time, they had expressed even paying for it outright.
Yeah.
And in return for free services or in-kind services. For a certain amount of time, like 3 or 4 years of animal services provided to the county free of charge, you know what I'm saying? So yes, it's not added to the budget because to our understanding, the county was interested in paying for the incinerator. But if you'd like to amend it, just let us know if where we want, we need to take it from or what we need to cut and then we'll put it out.
I would like to have a plan B in case that they don't have all the money. So we can have a plan B to buy the incinerator because they really need it.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
So as your commissioner's court rep, would you want to go work that with Greg or do you want to work it?
Well,
where
I
are
was,
we at?
I was working with Greg and Jennifer and Chip Lozoya and Megan. That was the last day that she worked. When we were talking and sent him the requirements and everything. That was the last thing that I heard. So maybe we can have another meeting. I would be glad.
My recommendation, write a resolution. Present it to them. That's what we did on the
Hydrants and burn.
on the burn house.
Or,
We wrote a
yeah.
resolution, Jill's been working it back and forth, it forces the item. Cause if we just talk, nothing will happen.
He was saying requirements that Jennifer was requirement. But I don't know if we had any response because that was the last thing that I heard. She said, this is the requirement so we can work together. But
Yes, and I gave that all to them
See.
and we're just kind of waiting on. the
Yeah.
discussions.
They were waiting for budget to
And I
finish.
believe the last time, yes, they were waiting for budget to finish and I provided all of
I
that.
would like to continue on the dialogue,
So
so.
I agree. I think it's important.
Well, keep me posted, so I see.
So you're gonna go talk to them?
Yes,
Okay,
Perfect.
yes, I'm in that board.
yes, you're on the animal advisory board, right?
You got
Okay,
it.
all right, it's yours. Okay, any other questions?
No.
Councilmember Portillo?
No, I'm sorry, I was late,
It's okay.
so I'm kind of catching up on everything, so
Okay.
I'm good right now. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Lucas?
I have a lot for our water and wastewater discussions or workshops. That's
Okay.
where my main focus is. Um,
Yep.
Moving forward, really. And everything is, for me, kind of follows that because we need to fix the infrastructure before I worry about the streets going over the infrastructure. Personally,
Right.
yeah. So,
So do we want to set those workshops? We have a workshop at 4 PM on Tuesday the 2nd, which is city council meeting. How about, let's see. 4 PM, when's the next council meeting? 16. I have a 3 o'clock that day. But Rick can start if I'm late, right?
On the 16th,
Yeah, because I have a 3 PM at the radio station.
we'll figure it out, yep. We'll make it-
Okay, so y'all want to do 4 PM on the 16th, city council? Yeah. Okay, and so that will be water,
So that would be just discussing plan moving forward. I'm just trying to get a sense because we're currently scheduled to adopt the budget on that day, so.
Okay.
It would be more for discussing it and planning and budget
yeah,
improvement.
yeah,
I
because
would
we can make
actually-
budget amendments,
Okay,
that's something for you guys. That are new, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we can make budget amendments, it's not set in stone, it's flexible.
So can I offer, maybe we do it, because the 16th is probably gonna be pretty busy,
Yeah,
as we get through budgets and everything else. Can I suggest maybe we push that into October? But my view is we can
Yeah.
get a budget passed for water now, as I kind of outlined, that'll be my thought. And then come back, that gives Mike an opportunity, it gives him enough opportunity to come back and get ready for a meeting discussion.
I think that's great, so
We're fine with
October
that.
7th for water. 4
Okay.
PM,
What day?
it's city council meeting, October 7th, we'll meet here at 4:30 PM. Or 4 PM for a workshop,
October 7th.
yes, and then October 21st for, what would y'all like to do next, wastewater?
wastewater.
Yep.
Wastewater, I think we're doing really good considering all the improvements that
Good, yeah.
the past councils have done seemingly every year with the new bar screens and new aerators, and then now we're doing the clarifier and the drying beds and everything. I personally think, as we discussed, getting our old or what's gonna become our old clarifier situated so we can have 100% over there and start using the fluent instead of it going to those 6, send it to the golf course and whatnot. But I think, for the water, our bigger issues is gonna be our west side water and then budget again.
Yep. Great.
And,
Yep.
like we're saying, we can do amendments, but that's gonna be a hefty price tag for what we're gonna have to end up figuring out on either one of those or both of them.
And that'll give Vicky an opportunity to figure out what we have in terms of fund balance that we'll sort through. So we have that discussion. We've talked about, we need a dimmed water program, right?
We do.
And we've never done it. We go off and we'll fix the latest leak. As opposed to, let's get ahead of the leaks. We're gonna have to fix leaks for the next 10 years. We need to get ahead of the leaks by doing a DIM program for water.
And Gio, what, do you know the status of the Phillips tank? Is it still losing water?
I have not heard, but I know that Mike was looking into all of that today, just kind of reviewing our plans, seeing what we want to do moving forward.
Okay, so October 7th, we're having the workshop at 4,
Yes.
and then October 21st at,
4.
okay.
And
I
do
just
we
wanted
want
to
to go
make
ahead and
sure I was
schedule
listening right.
November's?
So I do have a question on the city council on page 12.
Which 12? 12 of 100?
So I don't know, I mean, I guess they lowered the discretionary funds from 4,000 to 3,000, am I right? Way back,
It was already 3,000.
was it? It was never 4,000?
It might have been years.
It
ago.
was,
It was.
when I first started. Yeah,
Yeah.
they changed it.
They lowered that. like,
It did.
Well, I want to change it. I want it back to how it was. Only because I think we are a very productive council.
Absolutely. Just tell us where to take the funds and we'd be happy to adjust it.
From the incinerator.
This goes back to discussion about fund balance, how we're gonna allocate. So we have almost $8 million.
Yeah,
And not that we want to fetter money away,
right.
because it's about to make your capital investments, but I think that's a dialogue. Anyway, that's my perspective.
What happened with the money that they are not spent, that the city council does not spend, they go to
So
the,
fund balance.
go to the next year?
It goes into fund balance. That's where it goes.
Oh, but for example, there's 3,000 a year, you only spend 1,000, so the next year you have 5,000?
No,
No, you allocate up the budget. It goes into then, it gives the city council latitude about where it wants to spend money going forward based upon fund balance and reserve requirements. So. Yeah. So think about it as your savings account. So you got a savings account sitting over here. And every year, because I know you're like this, you allocate your budget every year. Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so you allocate your budget and you go spend, okay? And sometimes you say, oh, I want to go on vacation. I reach over my savings account, says I want to go on vacation. Or I need to buy a new hair salon location. You reach into your fund balance and go do that. And when your fund balance is empty, you say, oh, I can't go buy a new hair salon. Okay, but that's the city's the same way. So we allocate every year how much we're gonna spend for the year. We manage to that budget. And then whatever we don't spend goes in the fund balance for potential allocation for something else.
Thank you.
so, yeah, I want to go ahead and book into November, have a workshop at 4 PM again on Council Day, Tuesday, November 4th. Let's see, we wanted to have it on, what was it, water, wastewater?
So we did water, wastewater.
Yeah,
So
was that it?
7th,
We didn't want to do
wastewater?
streets.
So far, I think unless we just want to set the time aside and so we all have our account, we'll figure it out as we go through.
That's up to y'all.
I think we have a lot to talk to Mike about.
Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Okay.
So is
anything-
November a regular city council meeting?
Yeah, November
Okay.
4th and November 18th.
Yep, there.
And then there's just one in December,
Yes.
December 2nd.
Super second, yeah.
Okay, anything else, council?
So I do think that while you are still gonna go and talk to them, I do think that we need to set aside some money for the incinerator, because I don't know, I would need to go back and look at that video, but
No, we've been talking about it, but we never,
we need a,
When did you meet with the chief, Megan?
The last day that Megan was, that she resigned.
The day she resigned on that Tuesday?
Can I suggest at great personal pain that we take a little bit of time, maybe at our next meeting, to look at the capital improvement plan, which the incinerator would have been a part of, and ask ourselves, what are the things that we believe are high priority to that capital improvement plan? So we can have a discussion about where we want to allocate fund balance.
So you would like that on the agenda?
As part of our workshop. We have the workshop next week, right?
Right, that's, we can fit that in, right? Because we have the
That
4
could be
o'clock,
Part of the workshop.
yeah.
And we can all look at the CIP that we approved and look and say, oh, this is one of the things we want to work, and we may come to coalesce, yeah, spend money there, and there. I don't think it's gonna be a huge number, because I think the real money we want to spend is on the water system, the water distribution system. But I do think that's probably worthwhile for us to talk about, because when we
Right.
talk about it, we just say, hey, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
So
That'd be my
the
recommendation.
two items that I had where we needed direction were, do we add the additional 5,000 for the library? And the annual increase for the director of tourism, are you wanting to go ahead and do that? And if so, I guess really the only option would be to take it from fund balance, right?
Yeah, if you do it anyway, you pay $1.4 million of fund balance would actually reduce that earlier, so you put some of that back in fund balance.
Okay.
And then
So are you all okay with that?
adding adding the CIP.
Some of the CIP
Yeah.
stuff, in my mind, that's part of the discussion next week.
So we could make these two adjustments if y'all are okay with that. He used to have a 5% increase annually. He didn't have one last year. I mean, I was thinking at least a 5% for this year. At y'all's discretion, of course, because y'all are who decides it for the contract. Upping the libraries and funding amount to 45,040.
I think that'd be a quick
The
discussion.
only other
Seems like
thing
we're all in agreement.
that we didn't
Yeah.
catch in this one was the longevity pay, but we've already worked that out as well, right, Victoria? Like the longevity pay, it should be easy to fix.
Including yes.
What about the Family Crisis Center?
We can increase that one as well if you'd like. What is that even set out?
9,000.
9,425.
How much the gentleman make cost?
I don't know what is the increase that you do every year. I don't know.
So, I do think we need to be fair between the Family Crisis Center and what is it? The Children's Advocacy
Mhm.
Center. There's gotta be some balance between the two.
Those are also typically come up the agreements, and I have those scheduled for approval on September 16th, because I figured these budget discussions would kind of
Yeah.
change things.
Okay,
What
Just
are
let
we allocating for the children advocacy? 5,000?
so do we have, like what you said, agreements with the two?
We have agreements with all.
Okay,
At
okay.
the crisis center.
So you'll bring that those up.
It's going to be those agreements for approval in the upcoming agenda, but if you could know the amounts that y'all want to do already, that would be better, so we could include it.
What are y'all thinking?
Well. My wish list, like Rick said.
Yeah.
So. I don't want to go to extra amount, but something that would be reasonable, percentage to increase.
Maybe another 5? What do y'all think's reasonable?
Very reasonable.
10%, no. I think that's pretty good.
10%.
About $1,000.
Okay.
Unless they're specifically requesting more.
Wait until you have that meeting with them and see what they're asking.
Can we
really-
wait that they come and then we can amendment?
They already forwarded the contract, and I don't think they're even requesting an increase. at this
Oh.
point. Yeah.
Well, if they're not requesting.
Gonna leave.
I mean,
Yeah.
because we also had talked about, making some of these places self-sustainable. Am I correct, Rick, or wrong?
Making what?
Like, them, not to be dependent on the city or
Right.
the funds.
Yeah, we'd always like to have
Mhm.
conversations. I think. Yeah, right, right.
So if they're not requesting, just leave it, Gia.
Yeah, on the draft that they sent me for the contract, it was 9,425 on family crisis.
Okay,
None of them, the only organization that had mentioned anything was the library. We've
Okay.
already discussed that, so. Perfect.
Okay.
So we'll leave the other ones the same for now.
Okay.
Is there anything else y'all would like to see changed ahead of the next workshop?
There's,
The
well,
$4,000.
yeah, I mean, I do think that we need to go back to adding the 1,000 per council. For the discretionary fund. Like it was before,
Okay,
please.
then we can up that for every November. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else?
Was that taken down to 3,000 just because it wasn't being used or?
I think so. And I think that was the rationale.
Okay. We must take it back up. If it wasn't being used before, we must still take it up.
But we're a different city council.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I mean, we're
was
different
asking.
from before. I mean, we're not the same council.
We, yeah. We could use it on project travel training. But
Yeah. The original intent of those dollars, I thought were for training and travel, things for council members, correct?
and special projects.
That's what I'm saying.
I think like that, a while back, it was really high. I think they used to, they used to spend a lot.
Yep.
And do we have in there allocation for park, like the pool repairs?
Well,
Yes.
Cause I know the pool's losing about 20,000 gallons of water a day.
We mentioned to
Yes.
Vicky about increasing because of the motor and things of that nature, so it has increased by.
It's a lot of water.
Well,
yeah,
to that point, and right now,
What page are you on?
I'm on the handout that we were given.
Okay.
Under the one that says Techstar and Tech Plus accounts, that's what the balance is. So, there is a line item here called Creek Trail Reserves, 265,000. It says splash pad. Having been on council when that deal was negotiated, because I helped negotiate it. It was $200,000 from ETP, Energy Transfer Partners, to go to the Creek Trail up and down the creek. That was never done. Councils looked and said, hey, we gotta do something else with that. ETP is long gone. They're not worried about how we allocate it. My recommendation would be that, and splash pads aren't gonna cost $200,000. That we look and say, we have a dire need of getting our pool fixed, to stop the leak and everything else, and we had to look and say, what can we do for $265,000 to get our pool fixed? And potentially fencing and splash pads and fix the motors and all the other stuff. That'd be
I
my,
think we could break it over all that thing.
yeah,
the whole-
yeah. So that'd be my.
Everybody was pretty hot
I
this
agree.
year
Yep.
about the pool situation and it's just like,
Just running the
here.
shade.
We're still waiting the final report, but from my understanding, it's leaking like a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So $260,000 go a long ways. If we all agree with us, that's where we're gonna go,
Yes.
you guys go figure it out.
Great.
I think that would be. I think that, I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I would think the general consensus of our constituents would much appreciate that.
Oh, yes,
Trail
yes.
down the park,
I hear
or
a
down the-
lot about pool.
Yeah.
A lot. And the trail down the creek, I think what the problem was there is some of that's private land and.
Well, we had a whole bunch of issues to go work.
Yeah,
We had to go
so-
raise so much money. My view, and instead of having negotiated the deal, it was a good, but
Okay.
it's the pool.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I mean,
agree.
is
What are
that
your
including
thoughts?
everything like adding more shade, because I mean,
Well, it's,
Yeah.
or whatever. the-
Yeah, let's get some bids
Stop
and
the-
they can
yeah,
show
stop
us
the
what
leak.
they can offer us for that price.
Yeah.
Cause that's what I'm saying, we could probably revamp the whole thing, bathrooms.
I think a lot of those funds have usually been dedicated by resolution, so if y'all wouldn't mind, we could do
Yeah,
that
sure.
after the,
That's
like,
fine.
maybe October, early October.
Let's do it, yeah, we got all summer and spring, or I'm sorry, winter and spring to work. it.
yeah, I call it the stop the leak resolution.
Yes, I agree.
If there is any money left on can be a small splash next to the pool so the water can.
Maybe where the
the
baby
pool
Fixing the pool and adding a splash pad to it and everything, like making it one really nice little water park, if you will.
There you go. Yeah.
Small
So,
scale.
so
though.
we can reuse the water so it can be.
Right,
more-
yeah.
Yes.
All of it's just-
So Gio, and I do have a question on the Pueblo Nova Park. Are they still gonna add more stuff like the canopies and whatever else was lacking?
Yes, there were some pending items that we hadn't got done that we're gonna add. The signage is a big one.
Okay.
There was going to be,
I need to talk to
if
them.
I'm not mistaken,
So he can.
around the porta potty, like, cement blocks and a
Oh,
mural,
yeah,
like an.
so that they don't take off.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then look at my property.
Number.
That is a true story.
No,
Yeah, my daughter-in-law
That's
said.
the people that-
The restaurants are almost,
for me, eh?
yeah, it's just like, the wind was that strong, but it was. I was like, well, go hold them down, I'll be there.
Still sit inside.
Yeah. But. I mean, I'm just wondering, I mean, I know that I think. Megan has said that Eddie was, then we're gonna build and I think Eddie did too. Put some stuff there, like the canopies over them, but
There are still
Which
some
is
improvements
part
pending.
forward.
We're not done with
So you
the grant.
okay, cool.
We finally had a meeting.
You're welcome.
Porque,
I'm all excited.
porque donde se sientan los niños están bien feos. El agua de tomar en el parque así, donde toman los niños también está bien
Are we
feo.
done with the budget workshop stuff for now? Okay, let's move on. Review the certified
Yeah,
values
también
received from
debe
Brewster
ser.
County Appraisal District, City
Mira, más
Manager.
sentado.
Thank you, Mayor. So we did, of course, receive the certified values of Brewster County on July 25th. This is just being provided for full transparency and so the.
Hi, thank you for being here.
Appreciate your rain.
The council can officially review, those certified values. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Thought I was best to formally put it in front of you.
Right.
So where is it?
And the packet.
Okay.
I was looking forward to.
Which.
What page, Gio?
It's very bad.
Yeah, it's way.
Give us the page of 100.
Thank you.
Yeah,
82 of 100.
82 of 100.
Oh,
Those numbers are easier to see. Okay. So this is looking at no new revenue.
So these are the certified values, and then the next item was gonna be reviewing the truth in taxation options, which would be the tax rate. And then, of course, there is an action item to take a vote on the proposed tax rate as well. Just so that can formalize the direction on the tax rate, and we can get that fully incorporated. But
Okay, and as far as the House bill, are we limited since we're not caught up on audits? So we can go no higher than no new revenue.
not advice.
Okay.
So the net that we receive from a tax standpoint is around $2 million property tax. The assumption is no new revenue. And I look at our budget. For $2.2 million.
What it looks like.
Yeah, it's same, it's. So no new revenue, nets 2.2, just, and some change, but that's what it's.
And the non-new revenue actually that's the 2.1. It's 2.2 because we're also factoring in how much we collected in the taxes.
Okay,
How much we collected on what?
gotcha.
Prior year taxes,
Prior
the
year.
delinquencies.
Oh, good, okay.
But that's why the difference, okay, that helps, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, well. And so what does that result in the effective tax rate to residents? Would be no new revenue The effective tax rate then is,
The terminology effective tax rate has been changed to no new revenue.
fair enough, okay, well, that's. But one, and so when I say the tax rate, 42. 4.424737 $. Essentially the same as it is this year.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's, few words different, but. Yeah, it's like. 3 words different. Okay. I got it.
Well, I don't think we should go lower than no new revenue.
Let's do it. My view.
Yeah, it is because of inflation. So basically what we're doing is we're bringing in the same amount of money
Yep.
from property taxes that we brought in last year.
Yep.
And we all know that inflation has occurred, things have gone up. So,
If everybody is in agreement, there is an action item during that portion.
okay. All right, so moving on to item C, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item C on here. Going to be about a record vote on the proposed tax rate for fiscal year 2025-2026 to be incorporated into the budget. Adoption.
Separated by maintenance and operation and IMS rates.
Okay, so Gio, explain to us what you need us to do.
Where's our items right now?
Make sure that we vote for it based on your annual rate is this amount and your item rate is this.
Yep,
amount.
yep, that's what I asked, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Thank you.
Did you get my text message that
I
your
did.
show airs?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
thank you, yep.
Yeah,
I got it, yeah, yes.
good deal.
Yeah, thank you.
This is on page 18. Of Fund Farming. That allocated by Russell House.
Page 19 of 100.
18.
What are you looking at? 18 of 100. What are you looking at on the arcs?
Very good.
It's 18.
Oh, 18 up there
Just your current, your
18,
at the top.
Very good. That's,
You have it already marked down.
they're very,
So there's
yeah, the 5,000.
donde toman agua está bien feo, donde se sientan los niños está bien feo. So, donde se sienta la gente, las orillas están muy sharp.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that was.
They were the other one.
I didn't know that. I didn't play softball there.
They're looking
Lions
for
Field is what we called it.
Oh,
Lions Field.
Valentino Sánchez.
I didn't know.
Centennial.
Mhm.
Mhm.
100,757.
They've been
After
there
what time?
forever.
Yeah,
So
okay.
when I saw it, I said, I'm glad that it's still there. Porque juegan niños y no están en muy buenas condiciones. Donde juegan los niños, que son arbolitos atrás, pero donde toman agua los niños está bien feo.
Okay. I'll go by there. I mean,
There he goes. And maybe she's.
If we'll just look at the highlighted rates, because this is just my.
Give it to us.
Sorry.
Oh,
I would like to see it first, okay,
So your M and O rate.
which is, y'all know what that is.
Yeah, okay, I saw that.
Operations.
Yep, so the
and then
M&O,
it's
yeah,
like
that's-
for Loans and stuff.
So, yep, there you go.
What you probably have there is the combined. And so out of the
Yeah.
combined rate, a portion is allocated to your general operation, that's your M and O. And the INS rate is to pay towards the certificates of obligation.
So we have to approve each individual rate, don't we?
Yes, if you'll just go ahead and make sure to separate them, M and O at such, INS at such and such.
And we don't have those in our packet, right?
There would be just-
It
It
should be written in there.
Oh.
She was out there, so go back to pages like
Oh,
one
that's-
to whatever, you eventually work your way through the whole worksheets to get through it.
So 90 of 100,
Well, it's,
And 90.
you gotta go through all the doggone
Each
deals.
one
And then just to mention, it's important to make sure this is. the
proposed rate. Because
It's
we're
the
not actually
official,
adopting them.
adoption
okay,
of
you'll
tax
need
rate.
to, we need to work out what what our motion's gonna be.
So we're doing the proposed tax rate.
Yes.
Proposed tax rate,
And for M and O, or 0.417159. And for INS 0.007578 for a total proposed rate of
point,
0.424737.
Perfect.
Thank God I took my migraine pills ahead of time.
And do we have to approve each one separately, or we can do them?
One motion?
It's the proposal,
It's the one motion.
and it's by. We all, roll call.
Okay, yeah, but we already do roll calls.
Yeah, we do it anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
you're ahead of the game.
All right, so any discussion about that before we move into our action item? Everybody good? Okay, all right, so moving on to action items. Action item A, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A, to approve a record vote on for tax rate for fiscal year 2025 to 2026 to be incorporated into the budget ahead of official adoption.
I need a motion.
So Mayor, I propose that we approve a proposed M and O tax rate of 0.417159 and an INS proposed tax rate of 0.007578 cents per $100 value for a total proposed rate of 0.424737 per $100 property value.
I need a second.
second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's vote, and we're voting on approving a proposed M and O tax rate of 0.417159 and an INS proposed tax rate of 0.424737.
INS 0.007578 for
Oh,
a
what did I
total
read?
proposed
Oh,
rate
shoot.
of 10.244737.
All right, scratch that. So council, we are voting on a proposed M and O tax rate of 0.417159 and an INS proposed tax rate of 0.007578 for a total proposed rate of 0.424737 per $100 of property tax value.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
and do we have a second?
We did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, city secretary council unanimously approved by roll call the proposed M and O of 0.417159 and proposed 0.007578 for INS for a total proposed 0.424737 per $100 value of property tax. Okay, all right, good. Okay, so moving on. Councilmember comments. Councilmember Stevens.
I'd just like to thank you all and Vicky and the team, the directors for all the hard work in getting us to this point. We have lots more to go, but Well done, thank you very much. You've got a bunch of other stuff on that's coming up.
Okay, Councilmember Escobedo.
I want to thank y'all too. And of course, thank Rick for explaining all of this stuff and Robert. Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Councilmember Rufus.
Thank you, ma'am. Despite everything, thank you for all of your dedication, all your hard work that you're doing for us. I do not want it to go unrecognized. Also, I want to caveat off of them. Thank you very much. And Gio, thank you as well. Don't want you to go unrecognized. And looking forward to this next physical year, seeing what we can get accomplished in the council, starting off with the fresh year. So looking forward to it.
Councilmember Martinez.
Yeah, I want to reaffirm what everybody said. Thank you,
Yes.
Gio, and thank you, Vicky. I'm so glad you are here with us and you're feeling better. We appreciate you both so much of our work. Thank you for all your effort and the people who are behind you. Thank you. Thanks, yes.
Okay, Councilmember Portillo.
Thank y'all for everything. I know situation y'all were put in
Uh-huh.
and what we've been, y'all had to deal with and y'all done really well. So thank y'all very much.
And I would like to second that. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank you, Gio. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, and we recognize that, and we appreciate your hard work. And I know it's taken a lot of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
But you know, the community can see the hard work that we all are doing and they appreciate it.
Agree.
All right, and with that, we will adjourn this workshop at 6:51 PM.
Hey.